evening, sports fans. Happy Thursday. One sleep to go, and it's Friday. And then the weekend. I'm just really counting the days tonight. We've got NBA superstar Anthony Davis playing his best game so far for the Dallas Mavericks. Plus, we catch up with our good friend, longtime PBA coach, great guy, Alex Compton, live in the studio to talk about his new book.
And it's the last day of the PVL All-Filipino Semis. Which teams are headed to the finals?
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Letungalaw.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy Lee. Future moves, puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Bacunas rejecting Estevo for the win.
After 2 months of waiting, it looks like the Dallas Mavericks finally got the Anthony Davis they traded for with the Los Angeles Lakers and giving up Luka Doncic. Well, AD, take a look at the highlights here. Played his best game since joining the Mavs, tallying 34 points, grabbing 15 rebounds, and also 5 blocks in a 120-118 win over the Atlanta Hawks. More importantly, that game-winning shot from the brow, that floater with 3.4 ticks to go. AD did all these despite getting stitches above his right eye earlier in the game. Fellow Mavs big man Daniel Gafford accidentally elbowed Davis on the face in the first quarter. AD left the game bleeding, but returning before halftime with a bandaged eye. The Mavericks currently number 9 in the West with 38 wins and 39 losses. The Hawks are 8th in the East with 36 setbacks and 36 victories and 40 setbacks. Here's Davis talking about his outstanding performance, including his incredible game winner.
Coach Kidd drew up a great play for me to get to my left hand, which I like to get to. That little floater. I've been struggling as of late. Little mental stuff, going on. But today I just wanted to come out and play free and just let the rest take care of itself. And I was able to get in the rhythm. But my teammates got a lot of trust in me. I put in enough work to be able to get that shot at the end of the game. They had to get a stop on one of the best guards in the league, one of the best scorers in the league. So it was a fun game.
It was a fun game. I want to ask you about that stop. Did you know that you were going to have to switch out on Trey going into that?
No. But I was ready for it. I'm used to guarding, perimeter guys, and he had me beat. Got to a step back. I just made him shoot a tough shot. Then chaos came over there, but whatever it takes to win the game.
Meantime, make it 11 straight wins for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They put away the Detroit Pistons 119-103 with the MVP frontrunner Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way once again. OKC was up by just 4 with less than 4 minutes to go, but they went on a 12-0 run to close things out and put Detroit away. SGA posted a game-high 33 points. It's the Thunder main man's 48th time to score more than 30 this season. It was an uphill battle from the get-go for Motor City, who played without several of their key players. Ryan Holland II, Marcus Sasser, and Isaiah Stewart served their suspensions for the bench-clearing fight with the Minnesota Timberwolves last Monday. Their all-star teammate Cade Cunningham was also missing in action due to a calf issue. With a 64-12 win-loss slate, the Thunder have already clinched the West and are now 3 games ahead of the Cleveland Cavaliers for the league's best record. The Pistons are still 5th in the East with 42 victories and 34 defeats. In his walk-off interview, SGA talked about how his squad stays motivated to keep on winning.
We just got stops. Every night in the NBA is going to look a little different. You got to figure out a way to win. We did so tonight. We weren't our best all night. We could have been better for sure, but we figured it out.
You are a central figure in the defense, obviously so much talent, but another night with steals and blocks for you. Tell me about your role in the 5-man effort on that end.
Yeah, just try to make winning plays, whether it's on defense, offense. It doesn't matter. It's all about winning. That's what we're all about. That's what I'm all about. and thankfully we got another dub tonight.
Chet provided a big punch early, and it just seemed like guys flowed in and made their opportunities known, made themselves really effective. What did you see from the team overall?
Yeah, we played well. We didn't play great, but we fought through it. Like I said, the game's full of ups and downs. The team's gonna come in here and fight. They know we're on a win streak. They're desperate. They just lost. Like, it's full of ups and downs. We stuck through it, and we weathered the storm. The game, like, it's all about winning, like I always say, and we got it done tonight.
The aforementioned Cleveland Cavaliers moved even closer to clinching the East after beating the New York Knicks. The game was a tale of two halves, with the Cavs owning the last two quarters to claim the 124-105 win. Cleveland went on an 8-0 blast late in the third period and ended up outscoring New York in the second half, 71-45. Donovan Mitchell, bad man right there, having a game-high 27 points, while big man Jarrett Allen chipped in 21 markers. Another big, but this time for New York. Karl Anthony Towns tried to push back with his 25 points and 13 rebounds in a losing effort. With a 61-15 win-loss slate, Cleveland has already matched the second most victories in franchise history. And now they are just 2 wins away from officially clinching the East. The Knicks, meanwhile, still number 3 in the Eastern Conference with 48 victories and 28 setbacks, though they are now 0-8 against the top 3 teams in the league.
As for the Miami Heat, they extend their late season surge by stunning the defending champions, the Boston Celtics. Final score here, 124-103, with the Heat getting their 6th straight win, while snapping the Celtics' own streak at 9 games. Tyler Hero had 25 points, while Bam Adebayo added 21 markers. The Celtics were without several key players. Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Al Horford were all dealing with respective ailments. The Heat are currently 9th in the East with 35 wins and 41 losses. The Celtics remain the number 2 seed in the conference with 56 victories and 20 setbacks.
What a day. 5 more games to cap off a very busy day in the NBA. Let's do a rundown on the scores right now, with Washington Wizards pulling off a rare win after beating the Sacramento Kings 116-111. Tyrese Halliburton leading the playoff-bound Indiana Pacers past the Charlotte Hornets here, 119-105. Meanwhile, the Houston Rockets clinching a top 6 seed in the West after a 143-105 dominant victory over the Utah Jazz. Meanwhile, the San Antonio Spurs taking a 113-106 win over the Denver Nuggets, who rested all 5 of their starters on a second night off a back-to-back. And lastly, Kawhi Leonard was just in his element in the LA Clippers 114-98 dub over the New Orleans Pelicans.
Back here at home after just a week-long break, the PBA is set to return to action with the opening of the Philippine Cup tomorrow. Action starts at 5 p.m. when the Terra Firma Jeep take on the Phoenix Fuel Masters. Both teams had plenty of rest after failing to make the playoffs in the recently concluded Commissioner's Cup. Then at 7:30 in the evening, the defending champions Meralco Bolts will look for a spark right away when they play the Converge Fiber Xers. Both games will be at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium in Manila, but you can also catch the matchups live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app. After the break, we've got former PBA player and coach Alex Compton live in the studio. Compton will talk about his new book on sports parenting with his co-author Kevin Delafu. With that and more when Play-by-Play returns.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play only on One News. Player, coach, training director, commentator, you name it, he's done it. And now book author Alex Compton has pretty much done it all throughout his life in the Philippines.
Coach Alex just came up with his first book titled Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey. And to tell us more about it, we've got Coach Alex himself, the man who taught me how to shoot free throws.
Did he really?
Yes, along with his co-author, Kevin Delafu, who's also a former player and currently a coach.
Six-time
Coach of the Year. There you go. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play.
Awesome to see you guys. I really would have liked my number one thing in the intro to be
What?
former co-host of Cheska Litin.
Right there.
That would have been that should have been
Also
at the top.
my former
Should have been at
co-host.
the top.
Remove everything.
Yes, that's all that matters, man.
Well, welcome.
You know the
Good
deal.
seeing you as always,
Good
Coach.
to see
Maraming
you too.
salamat.
Yeah,
Coach,
thank you.
for being here on the show. This is just awesome. We're just, so happy.
I love seeing
Yes.
Alex. So nice meeting you. First of all, we obviously need to talk about this book, Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey. This was just launched a week ago. You guys flew
Yeah.
out here, had your
Yeah.
book launch. So sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah. Kevin cried. I held him a little bit. He's okay now. We'll be good.
Did you say you were going to? No?
No, I wasn't telling him.
Okay.
I
kind of promised I was going, but I didn't. So.
No, I knew what I was doing that day.
Okay.
But how was it? How did everything go?
That was great. You know, it was just the whole process of writing it was fun. And then for me, because I spent 22 years of my life here, I was surprised when I saw one of my ninongs come down the stairs. And then another ninong and ninang. And then another friend who had just flown in from Arizona who had raised her kids with my kids, like we were close. So it was a bunch of people I had seen, and it was kind of just a homecoming and a joyous thing to release something that was really from our hearts, you know?
So you guys are co-authors of this. This is
Yep.
just awesome. Guiding your child's athletic journey. Of course, it doesn't mean like basketball per se, but
Right.
just getting a child into sports at an early age. Coach Kevin, like you, good friends with Alex, what made you guys decide to let's do this? You two great basketball minds come up together, come up with this book.
Yeah, so it started with, we have a mutual friend who wrote another book called Wisest Learners, and it's really an academic, it's a book to help parents with academic learning.
I see.
And we read that together, or separately, we read it, and then coming from that, we were like, hey, we should write a book for this athletic journey of for these athletes. And so that's kind of how it started. Really, it's kind of as we wrote the book, it was a book for us as well. We continued to grow in our own parenting as we did studies, looking at research. And so that's been the kind of the exciting part about it, is we've learned as parents that we get to apply now as well.
And then, of course, aside from that, you're also here for the National Basketball Training Center National Finals. I mean, your son is also with you. What's your role there? How have you been helping it? How have things been going over there?
So I was one of the co-founders with Coach Eric Altamirano, and now I live in the U.S. So Coach E, Marissa, their family runs everything. But I still am a part from afar, so I'm back for it. And it was so cool because our book launch coincided with the NBTC, which wasn't our plan initially,
Oh,
but his
really?
son was playing it. So it was just like this awesome timing and confluence of
I
events.
thought you
Yeah.
specifically planned the book launch to go along with the trip.
It just, when we finished
happened.
it happened. Oh, it'll be
Oh,
right
wow.
around NBTC time. And Maceo, his son, was coming back to play, so it was perfect.
And so I'm just a dad. And so I really get to apply some of these principles that we wrote about in the book as a dad, how to be a fan, how to encourage, how to walk him through this athletic journey. Because at home, I'm his coach, but this week, I've been able to be his dad, and that's been
awesome.
really fun.
For those who intrigue about the book, before I ask what's next for you, Coach Alex, but I just opened a random page here, From Zero to Hero, the Sunny Hill League and the Birth of the Mamba Mentality. It's just one of the stories here. So for those wondering, what are they going to get and find from this book?
So we kind of structured it in a way where we share a personal story that links to research, but we don't want to get too nerdy with the research. We can both get a little bit nerdy with it. So we just made it real palatable. So here's our story that's connected to this research, and then here's some practical tips for parents. And then each question is, each chapter ends with questions to help you look inwards. Like, how am I raising my kid? How am I doing with this practice and motivation? Am I pushing them too hard? What's their context look like? Context. And so more than anything, it's just really to be like a guide and informative, but help you look at yourself and how you're raising your kids. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, 6-time Coach of the Year, well-loved player, coach, I mean, the Alex Compton in the Philippines, we used to joke around that if you ever hurt Alex Compton, angels would come down and beat you up.
I don't doubt that, though.
He's that nice. He's that much of a good guy.
I do not doubt that.
So,
not one bit, yeah.
I mean, when you listen to, dads so openly talking about, forming relationships and wanting to guide their kids properly, I mean, does that put any kind of pressure on you at all, knowing that maybe other people don't see our ways as the right ways, or, how do you communicate without imposing?
Well, it's a great question, and Kevin probably has a more eloquent answer, but for me, it all kind of culminated when I was writing the epilogue and my dad had a stroke. So we're basically done with the book, and I'm sitting next to my dad in the hospital room. It's 2 a.m. and I have to write the epilogue. And I realized before I was a father, I was a son. And I love my dad so much. Not everybody has that, but my sports memories with him are good ones, and I'm grateful. And when my day comes, I want my kids to feel that same way. And so if we can build something and do something together that makes our kids feel loved and grateful when we're in that position, which is coming for all of us, then we've done something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would just like to add, as all of us as parents, we have so much passion for our kids. And one thing about this book is we don't want our passion to become our children's burden.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so we want to help them, we want to navigate them, but when we love them and there's so much of that passion, sometimes it just becomes heavy on the kid, and that's when they get burnt out. Yeah. And so we're hoping that as this book and they walk through this, that passion turns into support and guidance, and really at the end of the day through youth sports is character building and for who they are when they grow up.
Mm-hmm. Coach, before we let you both go, we wish I had more time, but I'm sure you've heard. Yesterday, they just announced 10 more players to add to the PBA Greatest 50 and now the Greatest Players list. What was your reaction upon hearing the names? Of course, Junmar Fajardo, Scotty Thompson, among others.
Jeffrey Carriazo.
The Bull, Jeffrey Carriazo, the Jet, good friend of yours. The Bull, Nelson Acetona, among others, also part of the
Well, so when you look at those things, it's always a matter of the criteria and how they judge it. Everybody can argue about this for the next 10 years. But I'm glad the veteran players, the older guys, got in. Like, the respect that I've heard people, I didn't get to see Nelson, but at like the very, very end of his career. But when I talked to the all-time greats and the respect that they have for Nelson, I just felt like, buti na lang. Like you don't, when the all-stars of all-stars are like, this guy was incredible, that means something. So a lot of the veterans getting in was great. I know I had talked about characteristics where, like, I just always thought Jeff was a winner. He's just a winner on both sides of the ball. And as coaches, you want winners. And so there's a lot of Danny Siegel, just an incredible scorer, just a great player. So all those guys deserve it. And I feel like if you're even in the conversation, like whatever anybody voted, that means people are like, wow, you're an amazing player. Congratulations. So just congratulations, everybody.
I know we have to say goodbye quickly. May chance pa bang babalik ka dito mag-coach? I know you're happy in the US. May chance pa
only if you're coming out of retirement.
Hindi naman. Pero may chance pa, you coach?
I don't think so. My kids are so happy in the US.
So US.
Yeah.
All the best to you, Coach.
Thanks, Trey.
Where can they find your book? Where is this available?
So fully booked here, and you get it at BGC specifically, and then you can get it on Amazon as well, and so easy to get.
All right. Thank you so much. Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey by Coach Alex Compton and Coach Kevin Delafu. Thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful having you on the show. We hope to see you guys here again. All right. Coming up, we've got volleyball news coming your way. It will be the Petrogas Angels and Creamline Cool Smashers facing off in the finals of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. We tell you how they clinched their spots when play-by-play returns. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. The Petrogas Angels are heading to the PVL All-Filipino Conference Finals. The Angels booked their spot after beating the Akari Chargers to complete a 3-0 sweep of the round-robin semis. It was a straight sets victory for Petrogas, 25-22, 25-20, and 25-18. Myla Pablo delivered a game-high 16 points. She complemented the 15-point outing of Brooke Van Sickle, who will make her first finals appearance since joining the team in 2023. Petrogas will face the defending champions, the Creamline Cool Smashers, in the finals. The Cool Smashers are advancing to the title round after beating the Choco Mucho Flying Titans for a 2-1 slate in the semis. It was a relatively easy victory here, with the Cool Smashers even closing out the match with a 14-3 run. The final score, 25-19, 25-15, and 25-15. Kyle Negrito was at the center of Creamline's victory with 17 excellent sets. The best of 3 PVL All-Filipino Finals will begin on Tuesday, April 8.
We've got an all-NBA lineup for you tonight's highlight reel. Let's roll it right away. Pacers Hornets. Tyrese Halliburton picks the steal there, gets the ball. It's going to be showtime between him and Obi Toppin. Look at that. Great dish by Tyrese, backpedaling and then just tossing one up, dribbling off the floor. Take a look at Halliburton nonchalantly, and then he knows what to do. Obi. By the way, that was a great play, great connection. My boy Halliburton, 22 points, 10 assists, while Obi finished with 8 points, 4 rebounds. Pacers beat the Hornets 119-105 in Indy. Next game, Mavs-Hawks. Klay Thompson. Take a look at that play from Klay. Wow, we didn't know he had that in him. Throwing up. He's just so happy to have Anthony Davis back. Look at AD with a stitched eye and all, playing through the pain, lobbing, and look at that emotion. Dallas fans getting excited in Dallas there. Klay had 17 markers, including 5 triples, by the way. The Brow, after sustaining an eye injury in the first half, still finished with 34 points, including our final highlight of the night. Roll the next clip. Welcome back, AD. Now, Dallas getting their money's worth, letting go of Luka. The win there, the game winner, 3.4 remaining, putting Dallas up by 2, 120-118. And look at Anthony Davis. Yes, falling down, be careful. He might get hurt again, but no, he seems to be okay after this difficult shot for Anthony Davis for the lead over Onyeka Okongwu. What a play. We got to watch it again. Take a look at this well-designed play. He gets it, ISO, goes there, goes to the left, goes up. Woo! Mavs stop the Hogs on the other end. Final score stays at 120-118. What a game for AD. What a win for the Dallas Mavericks. Check.
Welcome back, AD, indeed. And before we go, we want to congratulate recently retired NBA legend Carmelo Anthony for getting elected to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Melo, who just left the game after the 2021-2022 season, entered the hall on the first ballot. Anthony was selected 3rd overall by the Denver Nuggets in that loaded 2003 NBA draft, just a couple of months after leading Syracuse to the NCAA title. Melo was a 10-time NBA All-Star with Denver and the New York Knicks. He also won a scoring title in 2013 and was a 6-time All-NBA team member. On the international stage, Melo won 3 gold medals and a bronze in the Olympics. Congratulations, Carmelo Anthony.
Woo! Well deserved, Melo.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. You know, it's just too bad, walang NBA championship. Pero...
That'll always just be
Yeah.
up for debate or whatever, but
he deserves it. What a
we've
great
seen
career.
what he
yes,
can do.
Yes, for sure. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Chascalit and Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.